I remember him telling me like, oh yeah, there's a drinking fountain in the break room, but make sure you don't drink that water. It's not good for you. And I was like, what do you mean drinking that water is not good for you? And he's like, oh yeah, all the senior techs that have been here since the building was either remodeled or the building was built, they told him that they saw that water drinking station get put in, and since then the filters for that station have never been changed. And so I asked JR, what are you doing for drinking water? And he said, well, I just go thirsty. And I was thinking, this is so ridiculous. You know, man. So from then on, me and JR, we took turns buying like a 5-gallon water jug with a built-in water dispenser so we could have clean water for ourselves. And so let me tell you about the water that the dealership provided us. Again, this water machine was put in about 10 years before my time when I started there. You know, the filters have never been changed, which I totally believed. I have in my notes, water from drinking machine had a subtle aftertaste. Tough to say what it tasted like, but it definitely tasted like something was wrong with the water. And if you can imagine drinking the water, it kind of had like a thick consistency on your tongue. And I remember like towards the end, as you swallowed the water, it tasted like something not right. I could never really put my finger on what it really tasted like. Yeah, no joke. The water literally tasted like something was wrong with it. If you drank like a couple cups, I would remember getting a headache in the afternoon, specifically after drinking the water. It's funny now to think about it, and it was funny then because it was so ridiculous. But that drinking water machine was hooked up to the sink water. The water that came out of that sink came out white, the color white. I don't know what that is. I never tried even drinking the sink water. I'm not that adventurous of a person. So already, if it sounds like a third world country, it gets worse. So pretty much, if you worked in the service department, there was only one place for clean drinking water, and that was the customer break room. Technicians were forbidden from going inside the customer waiting room. Again, if you've watched the last video, you can kind of have an inkling why, right? We are dirty and uneducated. We don't look good as the front face of the building. We pretty much, we are untouchables. You don't want to see us. You want to throw us back in the pit with the leftover sewer water. You know, they can have that. And it's funny because the technicians would go to such great lengths to get a taste of clean drinking water that people would go the back way around the building and sneak into the customer waiting room just to get some clean drinking water. So at one point, GR left the dealership and they moved me to the main building. Keep in mind, we still don't have clean drinking water. So I took it upon myself, little rectangle, I believe 3-gallon water jug with a built-in dispenser, and so I kept that in my stall. I specifically remember my fellow technicians coming over with like their cup noodles, coming over with their water bottle with like a really guilty look on their face, like, hey Zeke, sorry man, do you mind if I get some water? And I all the time just like, yeah, of course man, you know, help yourself. And yeah, it's a little depressing to think about now, but to be guilty, to have to like borrow clean drinking water because we all know we're suffering. There's no clean drinking water for us to either warm up our cup noodles or to literally hydrate ourselves. Literally the hardest working physical employees at the dealership, and we do not have clean drinking water. I'm just a regular guy, regular employee. I don't particularly look up like the labor laws and stuff, which, you know, as an employee, you really should to know your rights. So, you know, this kind of stuff doesn't happen. You work at a place that doesn't provide you with clean facilities or you know, basic necessities, clean drinking water, right? And so what I'm getting at is, I remember we had a car washer who used to work construction, and he said, you know, this is totally violating some sort of labor laws, because when he worked construction, it was something like, per this many people, there needs to be clean drinking water facilities every so feet. I was like, yeah, that totally makes sense. And for the entire service department, we don't have clean drinking water. At least for the technicians and the car washers, right? But who cares? We don't matter.